morning, Muongeni. I am Faleti Joshua, a representative of SGAC. So Digital Earth Africa is a sponsor of the upcoming Space Generation Workshop in Nigeria. And by virtue of that, you have been chosen as a user of Digital Earth Africa's platform to describe how you use Digital Earth Africa from the perspective of a user. So if you don't mind, can you please explain how you are using Digital Earth Africa to support climate action in your work?
Thank you very much, Joshua. My name is Muongeni Tamara Manda. I'm from Zimbabwe. I'm using Digital Earth Africa to support climate action in my work. Firstly, I can say Digital Earth Africa is an accessible platform which is offering quite a number of solutions to different African countries in terms of sustainability. So since it's a free and easily accessible platform, and myself coming from a developing country that I can't afford to buy satellite data, I'm using Digital Earth Africa to monitor environmental changes, talking about land use, land cover changes, tracking the land degradation, the vegetation health in different regions in Zimbabwe, assessing the water quality and water extent in different water bodies of Zimbabwe, and also I'm monitoring wetlands in Zimbabwe using Digital Earth Africa, since wetlands are important for ecosystem regulations and balance. So these Digital Earth Africa work is very important in monitoring climate change impacts. And this work is very important in informing decision makers, since Sustainable Development Goal number 13, which is climate action. So Digital Earth Africa is really helping in terms of achieving Sustainable Development Goal number 13, climate action. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Muongeni. So moving on to the next question. You were invited to speak at the recent IAC Congress in Milan, where you presented your research. So can you please describe your research to us?
Thank you very much, Joshua. So let me first say water is a fundamental resource which is needed by humans, animals, and it should be monitored and conserved almost every time. So seeing that this resource is a fundamental resource for everybody, I then conducted a research in Zimbabwe, Lake Chiwero, which is the main water supply for the people of Harare. So this wetland is also being used as a habitat for different animal species in Zimbabwe. However, over these past years, it has been facing a lot of environmental threats due to urban growth and a lot of human activities around the Lake Chivero. So by seeing this, I then utilized Digital Earth Africa platform to understand the quality and extent of water in this water body, so that it can produce as the data-driven solutions and decisions to policymakers and responsible personnel who are managing this site, at the same time informing implications for climate risk and sustainable development goals. So this is the research that I presented in Milan, Italy in October. Thank you.
All right, congratulations on that, by the way. I think that's very incredible. So moving on to the next question. In your personal experience as a user of Digital Earth Africa, what do you think the platform's most powerful capabilities are? That is Digital Earth Africa's most powerful capabilities.
Okay, so Thank you very much, Joshua. So from my experience, being someone from a developing country who cannot afford to buy satellite data, Earth observation data, Digital Earth Africa is capable of providing free and easily accessible Earth observation data, analysis, and insights, providing the data-driven solutions to different sectors, talking about agriculture, mining, industry. So Digital Earth Africa provides free and easily accessible data. It also offers high resolution satellite data, which is very effective in terms of analysis and producing results for decision makers. So at the same time, Digital Earth Africa provides free trainings in forms of webinars, which they host every Wednesday. At the same time, they provide us with YouTube videos, the sandbox, all these to teach and improve knowledge on Earth observation data. And lastly, what I can say, the most powerful capability of Digital Earth Africa is it fosters collaboration and capacity building initiatives. There is Youth Mappers, a student-led uh, club which Digital Earth Africa collaborates with to teach students about Earth observation data. At the same time, they host competitions, then they provide prizes to the winners. So Digital Earth Africa, in summary, I can say it's capable of providing easily free, accessible Earth observation data analysis, and fosters collaboration and capacity building projects. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jenny. You mentioned how Digital Earth Africa enables capacity development, especially in Africa's space sector. So with that in mind, I want to ask you, how do you think listeners can engage with your climate action initiatives, to support capacity building in Africa's space sector?
All right. Thank you very much, Joshua. Like I have said, Digital Earth Africa, it offers free trainings about Earth observation every week on Wednesdays, and individuals can participate in this, and they can use this information for solutions in their countries, because every country faces different problems. So by using these free trainings about Earth observation from Digital Earth Africa, every country can benefit because of this information. We have Digital Earth Africa has also the social media groups, which for every country. So listeners can also engage and join the social media groups where information about Earth observation data, about solutions, about a way to achieve a different sustainable development goals can be shared. So also another point is these listeners can also contribute to research projects. Digital Earth Africa, I believe, can help achieve all the 17 sustainable development goals because of each features that are capable of solving all the environmental issues that we are facing, talking about water quality, food insecurity, poverty, disaster risk, and deforestation. So listeners can contribute to these research projects because it offers free and easily accessible Earth observation data. And since we are in Africa, we don't afford to buy satellite data. So it's a way of utilizing these free and accessible platforms to contribute to research projects that can help in the growth of African space sector. At the same time, what I can say is one can then utilize this opportunity to present these projects during international conferences. And after presenting in those international conferences, I'm very confident that you can find collaborators and partners who want to further your research. And then after furthering your research with other organizations internationally, this can help Africa in terms of capacity building and being known internationally. So as a listener, if you want to engage in this climate initiative, you should contribute to this research projects in your country using this platform, and you have the opportunity to present. When you submit your abstracts, you present internationally, at the same time helping Africa to improve in terms of space technology. As for students, if you're a student and you want to engage in uh, these initiatives, you should engage in Earth observation student clubs, like I have said, talking about youth mappers that collaborates with Digital Earth Africa, so that you improve your skills and knowledge, because we don't learn everything at school, and one needs to engage in different programs for skill improvement and meet the industry demands, because it's all about the industry, what the industry demands. So knowing very well that us from developing countries, we can't afford to have, we have limited resources, we don't have infrastructure. So you should utilize these trainings, you should utilize these Earth observation student clubs, so that you improve your skills and knowledge, because a degree without a skill cannot change the Africa space sector. So to sum up, I can say, all the listeners, if you want to engage in these climate change initiatives, please visit the Digital Earth Africa platform. Please join the social media groups. Please attend the free trainings about Earth observation that Digital Earth Africa offers every Wednesday. And also please make sure that you contribute to research projects using these free and accessible platforms of Digital Earth Africa, so that together we can push the boundaries and inspire change, at the same time building a brighter future for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that answer, Muongeni. Please, I have one more question. If you could just summarize in one or two lines, how can listeners engage with your research, your specific research? How can listeners engage with them with that?
Okay, so as for me, my research, I have done a research that I've just explained. They can find it on the social media. They visit Digital Earth Africa social media. It has been published there. At the same time, they can visit the International Astronomatic Federation, where I presented. They also published my paper there. So if they want to know more about my research, they should visit the Digital Earth Africa platform. They should also visit the IAC Conference 2024, where I presented this research.
All right, thank you very much, Muongeni. Thank you very much for your time. Without further ado, I would like to bring this podcast, this conversation to a close.